Front loader or telehandler. Telehandler one is also load forks. Oh, cool. Fertilizer, herbicide, auger wagon. Anyways, this DLC and this DLC are free. You crashed this, Bozzy? Wait, hold up. Hold up. Bozzy, you crashed this? How did you crash it? It steers with all the axles. How come you didn't just go around it? The sugar beet extractor? Oh, well, yeah, okay, no, never mind.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah,
All
I'm
these
having
freak
mine still spinning as well.
Good game. Is it not letting you guys back in? Downside to this thing. It's freaking tall. So some of your first tier like combines and seed wagons can't fill it.
Yeah, let me try rebooting the server again. Maybe it got stuck loading. It does do that at times.
These things.
Say that again?
He's gonna restart the server to see if it doesn't fix it.
Okay.
Where is it?
Yeah, that's much faster now.
So the idea I proposed shortly before the disconnect is to do something like this. Take this machine that I just got, or one similar to it, I like this one just because it doesn't unfold like a Koopa Trooper.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Was at work, had been raining, got stuck, turned on a spider, and literally managed to dig the belly so far down. I had mud ripping off hydraulic compartment. Oh no.
Alright, we're good now.
We're good? Oh, ready?
Yep, all good. That's weird. I think my internet just had a big old burp.
I hope we got what's our money at?
196k.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I saved before I shut it down.
I hope we got the profit for that work. Look at it. Ghost is curled up in a ball.
Yeah. Oh, he's doing it.
Is he holding his back legs?
Nope. Ghost doesn't hold his back legs. Nope. Dang it. What he does is he'll take the paw that's up on top and he'll cover his eyes with it.
Oh yeah, Kitty does that.
Sleepy kitty. Oh. Sleepy kitty.
Well, the mowing's done at least.
Well, that's a good thing. Let's put this right here. Volcano mine to the pile of laundry.
Ooh, front and center with Ghost Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
Ah! That's awesome.
Calm down, Huntress.
That's
It's just a
fine.
cat. I'm getting a little crazy over there.
Is she swerving all over the field? It's about to crash.
No, just her like, "Ah!"
Portions compared to NASA's 1970-1980 budget. Yeah. I don't have anything like. Never messed up that bad in one fell swoop. But I did have to deal with the aftermath of somebody who did. We were in the military, and we were out at sea. We were pulling into this wonderful place called Brisbane, Australia. We were within 10 nautical miles of the Great Barrier Reef, which is a World Heritage Site, when one of the watchstanders decided to pump something called the waste oil collection tank overboard.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, by the way. Thanks, Balzy.
Yeah, it was.
No.
Yeah. So, we don't measure the volume on that tank in gallons because it's too big.
Huntress, what
Oh,
you
no,
doing in
no,
my truck?
I didn't do this.
Um,
And it actually like didn't happen. Instead, what the guy did is he had pumped everything from the tank into a sump. Sumps don't have level gauges, so we didn't know how full the sump was before or after everything went down, and like, yeah, there was a big to do, and the Navy was getting ready to fry somebody.
Hey, Abby.
I'm gonna take you to your orange truck if you want to bring it back to camp. Oh, there it is.
just to let you know,
Mm-hmm.
Abby tried to push me in the 18-wheeler out with that.
I mean,
So
it
it's
hits
all
hard
Abby's
enough.
fault.
It hits hard enough. I mean, it could have worked. It's just that I was trying to shove a fully loaded belly down trailer uphill.
Not something you should do with an orange truck.
So,
Fill her up full.
can
Yep.
you recall the biggest F up you've ever made? I can. It's how I got threatened with 178 charges of attempted murder and treason.
Okay.
I broke a piece of equipment on a submarine while we were at a place that we weren't doing something that we didn't do. And it caused sound to go outside the submarine. And I didn't have permission or authorization or didn't even talk to the supervisor about doing what I did. I just did it because it sounded like I was supposed to. So when the piece of equipment broke because I had no idea what I was doing, and the sound went outside the submarine, my skipper was just like, get it fixed and I will deal with it later, which was really nice of him. But later, my supervisor would come up and tell me that like there was talk of bringing me up on charges for it. Yep. Right, was not submerged trying to open a window. Yep. Yeah, I messed up bad. Like I tell everybody, I wasn't exactly the best thing to happen to the military. I mean, what they did for me was amazing because, you know, like, I was a snot-nosed, cocky little shit. When I joined, wasn't one anymore. And education benefits were pretty nice. How is this stuck?
Need a push?
Yeah. Does he want to go up and over? Nope.
Rope it to the rescue.
Again. And they tell you all these horror stories about stuff like somebody going crazy on the submarine and tried to open one of the escape hatches while underwater. And good luck. Like, there is no doing that. You gonna reach out and pick me up with your little discharge arm?
Mm-hmm.
Huntress, did you see the turd bazooka yet?
No, I heard of it last night, but I haven't seen it.
It's one of the best things ever. There we go, physics. I need to get back to not making sense.
Are they in the work for the Ropa?
Just think, we're gonna start filling up these trailers with that silage, and the rope is gonna be working all day.
Mm-hmm. Let's keep it unfolded in case you get stuck again.
Yeah, probably not gonna happen again. It was one of those, now we can't think of a single operation or job for you in the military, but thank you for applying for sitting corner position. So here in America, we have something called the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB. Most people take it their junior or senior year of high school, and it's an indication of the inclination of the individual for a job in the military. Now, some colleges do look at your ASVAB score and go, okay. Some vocational programs look at your ASVAB score and go, okay. But it's kind of a general knowledge thing, and it's an understanding of engineering. And the minimum score, this is the lowest you can score, and be in the service, is a 32. All right, it's 32 out of 99. And what it is that, like, at that score, they trust you to move well enough to pack sand around gun emplacements in the Army. Now, I took my ASVAB score my senior year, and the military recruiter, like, lost his marbles about it, and I don't know why. I scored a 95. It's not a perfect score, so, calm down, dude. But a friend of mine did score a perfect score, and then there was this kid from a different school who my recruiter made me tutor on the ASVAB in preparations for retaking the ASVAB because he scored a 9.
A 9?
Oh,
A 9.
oh.
Kremlin, if you have a rod, right?
Mm-hmm.
A rod, and it pushes something, what would you call that rod?
A push rod.
That is a question on the ASVAB.
Did he get it wrong?
I don't know. I tutored the kid all the way up until I left for boot camp. I don't know if he made it in.
A ram. Now you're just being cynical, Two-Tone.
He's not wrong. In a hydraulic system, that is what they're called. Oh yeah, one of the other questions, and this is one that he did not get right the entire time I was tutoring him. So you have a 4x8 sheet of plywood. How many square feet of plywood do you have?
32.
Okay. Are you sure?
Well, it's length times width.
Right. I heard things like 24, 16. And, like, he said the right answer one time, but I could tell he was guessing, so I asked him if he was sure, and he was like, no, it's 48, because 4 and 8 makes 48.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And I got into the service on a drug waiver.
No fault there.
They had to waive my experimentation with pot because evidently they expect people to go from birth to graduating high school without trying marijuana.
God forbid.
God, what else was the silly thing about that stuff? Hang on. Oh, I'm still waiting for the box of stuff that I wore that I couldn't keep with me at boot camp to arrive at my house in Alaska.
Oh,
I joined in 05.
probably doesn't fit.
Probably. I got lost on 4x4 in the inch conversion. Darn it, sometimes being a non-US. How to avoid using brain cells. Yeah.
Okay, we'll make it easy for you, Bozzy. You have a piece of plywood that's 4 meters by 8 meters. How many square meters is that piece of plywood?
Yep. Sparky Dave still around?
I don't know. Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, that's big. Yeah, that is a very large piece of plywood.
Huge piece of plywood. Let's see.
Don't hit the wall, please.
That's kind of why I'm here cleaning this up right now. Because, yeah. Should I feed the sheep while I'm here?
I don't think they need much. I topped them off a bit ago. Yeah, they actually could use some. They're at half.
Okay, they're full. Cutting into our profits, sheep. Start making more of that wool. Otherwise, we're gonna start selling mutton.
Did you see that I got it stacked, though?
I did. Dude, stop trying to need no help for that. I have managed that perfectly for ages, Grim. Need that back up myself. Something would have been off. Yeah, yeah, it's okay.
Let's see, my trunk is only 5x6, so how many cuts is that to make it fit? And minus the 1/8 inch for the bit. Answer, a lot of pieces.
How many pieces do you want it in? And how big do those pieces have to be to count as pieces? Because I can invent it.
And would you like for your car to achieve flight as it's leaving the hardware store?
Me math at this time of day, it's like a fish without a bike. Right?
Doesn't make any sense. Oh, Abby, I got one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you gotten to the point in your studies where you're learning about idioms yet?
No, I'm still on grammar rules.
Oh man, you're in for a treat.
Like, what's the one I'm working on now? Okay, so you have like the 27 different or 81 different versions of like Russian, right? Like you got the
Mhm.
formal, familial, all that fun stuff. And then there's the suffixes that go at the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm getting the female and male ones down pretty good. I cannot figure out for the life of me what the female plural for cat is.
Wait, what?
Let's see, is Koshka the male or the female?
Female. Kata's male.
Ooh.
Or Kata's in form. Dang it. Yeah, add. It's daytime here. Sun's up. But that Jack Frost guy is still a bastard. Yeah. How cold is it there? Because I'm sitting at -3 right now. And you can use metric with me. I actually can do the math and flip it and everything else like that. Like, I actually do better at gauging distance in metric than I do in Imperial.
It's Koshki.
It is Koshki?
Koshki.
Is that like Koshkia?
No, it's Koshki.
Koshki. So the plural doesn't get male or female. It just, you put the E at the end.
Yeah,
Because
there you
would it
go.
be
There you go.
Koshki? Yeah.
And the male
Double
is...
zero. Cup. KOT. Sorry, that's not right.
And there's the other one.
Oh, Kate. Okay.
Okay, anyway, idioms. You ready for some good ones?
Yes.
Mind you, these will be in English, but they're still
Yeah.
very interesting. Okay, so here's one. There's no truth in standing on your feet.
When would you use this idiom?
Okay. It's usually like if you're trying to be hospitable to someone if they're in your house.
Mm-hmm.
So be like, you don't need to be standing and have a seat.
There's no truth in standing on your own feet.
Sit down, make yourself at home.
Right. But there's no truth in standing on your... Huh.
Vinoga previat niet. There you go. All right. Another one. It's pretty basic. Don't rush the horses. You can probably guess that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait. Alright, I just confused myself. Is that one of those, like, chickens before they hatch?
No, don't be in a rush.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Another one is make a notch on your nose.
Worry?
Take
Stress.
take note and commit it to memory.
Okay, so carve it in stone thing.
Mm-hmm. And then another one is to make an elephant out of a fly.
Mountain out of a molehill.
Yep.
Yep.
Keep your tail up with a gun.
Keep your tail up with a gun?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that one.
That's a don't give up.
Oh. Yeah, Bazzi, so all through, like, grade school and high school and all that fun stuff, like, I learned the Imperial system, but then I joined the military and everything I learned was in metric because I went into nuclear engineering and there they use the standard science notation, so, like meter, gram, the kilo, mega, desa,
Centa.
desa, kilo, mega.
Centa comes first.
Yeah.
Well, technically, milli, centa, desa, kilo, mega.
Isn't that? I thought it was milladesa centa. Because millionth, tenth.
I don't know. You learn decimeters and stuff, but then it never comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you ready for a couple more?
Oh yeah.
Without a czar in the head.
Bats in the belfry kind of thing.
Yep.
Like no clue.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little off your rocker.
Yep. Wag the fool.
Talking too much.
Fooling around.
Oh.
Okay.
Inches of floor. We do damage inches. Inches still. I was gonna say, like, there's a couple of countries that use like miles per hour for their speed limit.
Yeah, the
But,
British do.
Distance is given to you in meters. So have fun with that.
Nano, micro, yeah, 2 ton. My ears are wilting.
Offensive language.
Yes.
Or
It's basically like, I just heard something so foul, I don't even know how to process it.
mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll show you where lobsters spend the winter.
Is that a never find your body thing?
Yes. It's a good one. I like that one.
Because I was sitting there like, I don't think that's a idiom for sex.
No.
So
When the lobster whistles on the mountain.
when pigs fly.
Yep. Here's where the dog is buried.
I don't know.
It's basically saying, you know, like, here's the root of the problem.
Okay.
Here's one that's really going to throw you. You ready?
Mhm.
Tree sticks.
Tree sticks.
Tree sticks.
Is that like a screen door on a submarine?
It's basically like saying, oh my god.
Oh. Yeah. All right.
Yolky palky. Okay, and then another version of the same thing is
Liters, drive kilometers, engine in centimeters. Then we throw in electric wires in meters, but size of wires is inches. And then we put on 22-inch wheels.
I'm liking out. No, lobsters is like sleeping with the fishes. Yes, it's exactly like sleeping with the fishes 2 ton. Okay, anyway. Same vein as before. This one is pancake.
Pancake? You just go pancake?
Yeah, blin.
Oh. Huh?
Okay, and another one. Kill the worm.
Finish the task.
Satisfy one's hunger.
Oh.
And last but not least, shove it under the collar.
Straighten up.
Getting hammered.
Oh, okay. Yep. We did that one.
So there's some interesting idioms.
Oh yeah. I had to take a cultural anthropology and cross-cultural psychology course, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if there is anybody from these nations that I'm going to refer to, and I say something wrong or whatever, please feel free to correct me because I think these things are fascinating.
2 ton says kill the worm with a weenie.
Yep. So, there is a Australian tribe, I want to say, where if you had to pick like an order to put animals in, and you were given the animals, I think it was like kangaroo, emu, wombat, wallaby, right? Which one comes first? And it was like, I don't know. I mean, emu? They descended from freaking dinosaurs. And the answer is right, but it's not because they descended from dinosaurs. It's because of the creation myth. But one of the things I learned is that like uh, we're the only ones who care about the exact count of passing livestock. Oh, did you see a herd of cattle go by? Yeah, it must have been like 50 heads. We'll give a like exact number, right? Or we'll give an approximation, but then we'll give a specific number. And what I learned is that most other cultures, it's one, it's two, or it's many. Many cows walked by, many camel walked by, many birds flew by. And it was just like intriguing because it led to like reading about the different things. Like depression doesn't exist in most Far Eastern cultures. It's body fatigue, and the person is prescribed to rest when it happens. And I was like, what? You mean depression just gets you sent home? And they're like, no, it's body fatigue. And I was like, what?
That's kind of in the same vein as I don't know if they still do it, but the South Koreans, when someone would commit suicide in their home, they would say it was death by fan. Have you heard that one before?
No.
So like a desk fan or a reciprocating fan, like what you would use, like the one I've got over in my corner.
Uh-huh.
That's how they would describe it. They wouldn't straight call it suicide.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I do not recall another country use, we are going to Nebraska. It's a 4-hour drive. We go, how many kilometers is that? Well, I'm from Alaska, and we give distance and time. Like,
Yeah.
I lived 5 minutes from a river in either direction on a paved road.
I mean,
And,
that's how I judge it. I judge it by time. I don't judge it by distance.
and one of the reasons we do that is because if the amount of time goes by and you haven't arrived at your destination, you need to either return to where you came from, or, because cell phones are a thing now, contact the person and be like, hey, I think I'm lost. Because from north to south, Alaska is as tall as the continental United States. From east to west, if you include the islands, we are as long as the United States. So when somebody says, oh yeah, it's a 3-hour drive, it can be 150 miles on the highway, or it can be 15 miles down a goat path. But the time is more important because that's when you figure out, oh, I need to call for help. We got her all in.
I mean, that could be it, 2-ton. I don't know for sure. I remember hearing about that. I don't. Probably some random fact thing I stumbled upon. Prairies was in distance, West Coast in time. Yeah, I mean, like if I think, okay, I'm going to go like to the, I don't know, what's close by to me, the nearest McDonald's, we'll say. I know it takes me about like 5-ish minutes to get there. I don't think, oh, that's like a little over a mile up the road. But it's funny because whenever I'm doing a long drive, like if we go up to Steph's parents for the holidays or something, I know that it takes us right around 2.5 to 3 hours to get there, and I also know that it's about 180 miles, but I don't start calculating the distances left to calculate the time until we're like halfway there. I'll look and I'll be like, okay, I know we're about this far from it, so that means we've got about this much more to go.
Well, yeah, okay. So, Bodsy, on that, there's actually a couple of engineering practices here in America that we do. One is that the fuel range of the vehicle must be at least 400 miles. Now, there are vehicles that go further, like pretty much everything not made by Americans, Um, I can understand the previous idea of a stagecoach. It will take you a day to go to X. Right. But
Abby,
there's.
what are you doing?
I'm trying to spread this out so it's easier to pack and easier to unload.
Hmm. Okay.
Oh wait.
Okay.
Oh wait. We got the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, finish your thought.
Um. Typically speaking, a full tank of fuel will last 12 hours while driving, 16 hours while idling. And it's just because of that 400-mile range. What-
I got a very random question before I get go to bed.
What's up?
Steam keys, the keys you use to get games in that.
Mm-hmm.
Do they ever expire?
No, unless you get them from a non-reputable source, like a GDWA or something, a key reseller. A lot of times, people that originally buy those keys will use stolen credit card numbers. And what the developers do to combat that is they can disable that key or a set of keys that were given out. That's usually the only time something like that happens.
Because I'm looking at possibly getting this game on Kickstarter. And Kickstarter, and it comes with like multiple keys. I just wasn't sure.
No, it won't expire.
I mean, we could use the rope to spread this thing out if we wanted to.
I mean, it's up to
Oh,
you.
there's doors. Oh, shit. It's 2:30 in the morning again.
Yep, that's what happens, Abby.
Guys.
Do you
Have a
want
good one.
Do you want me to get in the ropa? Bye, Huntress.
Bye.
You want?
If we can break the heap down.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put the pipe of the ropa to behind the ropa and drive up to this thing, just keep your header high so you go over.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this isn't really packing it down. And you want to go to the opposite end of the bunker so that it stays in the bunker.
Yeah.
It's actually Kremlin who's talking about it, Bozzy. Doop, 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 doop.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to fold to get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, you can try and go up and over, but if your header gets hit, it's gonna be kind of screwed. Push this stuff back into the pile. Oof. Need a hearing aid. Yeah, I'm getting there too. Don't feel bad.
All right, you ready?
Yep. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Going the wrong way. Come on. Come on. There we go. I got bang stick to the left here. That was fantastic.
For the
We're
record,
gonna
this is gonna take a bit.
yeah.
Oh, bye,
Yeah,
bye,
kinda
Two-Tone.
I was gonna ask, like, is it like the conveyor belt kind of loading stuff?
What do you mean?
Like, you know how the loader wagon, you just drive over stuff and bam, it's in the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
Is that more like the conveyor belts where it's like you got a area that you pick up from, or is it more
Yeah,
like
it
the?
seems that way.
All right,
Like,
you
I'm
get you
sitting
to
here.
curl your tail just a little bit. Dive backwards into a heater or radiator.
Same
All
bounty
those
hunter, so
depends
okay.
depends on what they do. If they have a hot thing inside them that they cool to heat a room, that's a radiator. If it becomes the hot thing to heat a room, that's a heater. Or if it's in the front end of a truck or it's designed to cool an engine, that's a radiator. Heat a room in the room. Okay. Yeah, that's a radiator. Yeah. Especially if there's water involved. Totally called a radiator. Uh-oh. I think your header might be stuck.
No, not stuck. I'm still eating away at this pile.
Oop. Now it might be stuck. Way to go, Abby.
Nom nom pile. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Just tearing apart that pile, we've pretty much doubled the amount of packing I had done in it before we tore it apart.
Mm. You're a dog. Not eating grass.
Mm-hmm. Upset tummy.
Nom nom wiggle wiggle.
Well, that car engine placed on front a cooler. Yep. It's funny because like they're called radiators when they're to chill the engine, but it's a cooler when it's for like your oh, thank you for the follow, the Hunter 300 win. So I assume you use a 300 Winchester? If we gonna buy a new, it's both. Mm-hmm. Well, like my truck has an oil cooler and it has a radiator. And the oil cooler is pretty much the exact same thing, and it's even attached to the radiator.
Maybe.
Mm.
Have a bump.
Yeah. There's one right behind your tire.
There we go.
I have no idea, really, because they're both sealed systems, technically. but like I just got through putting in radiant baseboard heaters in my mom's house right before I moved down here. Not really, only radiators. You open them up. Yeah, but then you seal the system. And technically you don't even open them up. The system refills itself as needed from an overflow or fill tank, expansion tank. That's what
Okay, I'm gonna need you to go around and bump me on the nose. That way I can get out of here.
okay. I should not go that way. How big of a bump do we need?
I'm gonna have to be a hard bump. Because I'm kind of in a little valley of grass.
Well, okay, so hang on here, Cheeton, because from what I understood, a system was sealed if there was a mechanical barrier somewhere between it and something at atmospheric pressure. It's like a closed loop system. It's filled once. Cycle radiators were dumped water over. Not in homes.
I'm gonna start eating away at the really tall piles since we've got it lower now.
Hmm. Radiator, heater, cooler. What's the difference? Okay. Hot air heating versus radiators. Comparison. What's the difference? No. What is the difference between radiator and heater? Radiators are heat exchangers used to transfer thermal energy from one medium to another for the purpose of cooling and heating. Heaters are just to put in, and coolers are just to take out. So it has nothing to do with the actual system. It has to deal with whether it puts heat in, takes heat out, or does both? Did I read that wrong? Stares at his heat pump. Closes the fridge door. Yeah. Heat pumps are amazing things. So are swamp coolers.
Except when they're marketed wrong. Oh, Abby. Abby.
What?
So,
What?
judging by the topic, you like weird engineering stuff like this, right?
Yes.
I have a perfect YouTube channel for you.
I already watched Adam Savage's test.
No.
Water to air for cars, so radiator. Right. But. Oh, yeah, no, because in a heater, you heat an element. Okay. I just thought about this. It's also going to make it to where you gotta drive that thing further to empty this thing out.
Hmm?
I don't know if that's really going to bug you or not, though.
What are you talking
You
about?
seem to be having fun. The Ropa.
What about
To
it?
empty this bunker out, you're going to have to drive further. Because we spread it all out.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't know. All we're doing right now is just leveling it to make it easier to get over.
So, on a boat I worked on, there was a steam-driven heat pump. When we asked why there wasn't just a steam like radiator in the area that needed to be heated, um, the guy said it was too hot. Then you run into a guy like Abby that can explain how that is so wrong to say in every way possible. Well, it does pump the heat from inside the fridge to your house, so it's not wrong,
It's
but
just
it's
not exactly correct.
yeah. I used to work on refrigerant plants, like the big, huge, like 90,000 ton uh, refrigerant plants, and uh, 90,000 tons for a refrigerant plant isn't that big. It's the same thing, right?
There you go, Abby. I sent you a link to the channel on Discord. Just be warned, it's one of those rabbit hole channels. The latest one he did a video on was hot ice.
Because you have to pump the heat somewhere. One part of it gathers the heat, the other part of it must shed the heat. Oh, he's getting that cat tree now. Teaching it what's what. I'm gonna go down over here and knock these steep angles down.
I should probably get the one with the wheel weight, shouldn't I?
Wouldn't hurt. I still don't know for sure if they ever factored in any of the like realism of like the wider, heavier tire actually does pack better.
Nope. Passed it. There it is.
Old fridges, the radiators were on the back exposed. They're still that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're still that way, Two-Tone. If you don't buy like top end, you still get a radiator on the back of it. It still has a little protective wire cage over it so that you don't burn yourself on it.
And on some of the fancier ones, they're usually underneath on the bottom.
Yeah. On the newer ones, like they're on the bottom, or they're inside the body casing in the back, and it's got a little fan that it'll use. My freezer is that way. Well, my freezer in Alaska was that way. It was also the first freezer I ever saw that could freeze an entire quarter of a moose in like 8 hours. And I mean like frozen.
And those, was it like a floor style freezer?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things are extremely energy efficient too.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to learn more about them, the guy that's the channel that I sent you did a video on them.
There's only one other machine I can think of that everybody uses in their day-to-day life that since its inception has changed very, 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 very little. It's a blender. Since it was created, they haven't really done much to improve the technology of blenders.
I mean, fax protocols that way too.
Mm-hmm.
1800s.
Let's back up to that and knock that pile over. Otherwise, this is gonna be a pain. Blast freezers, dude, those things are scary. Okay, I shouldn't say those things were scary. The one I worked with at the cannery was scary because it was on a timer, and the only way anybody knew that somebody was in there was kind of like the old coal mines where there was a number. And you took one off the pegboard, you put it in your pocket, and you went in, and they would lock out the freezer, like with an actual like padlock on the breaker. And then when you left, they would take the padlock off the breaker, put it on the door, and then turn the freezer back on. They would freeze thousands of tons of fish in like 4 hours. We lived right down the road from a processing plant, and the lock procedure was something that just blew my mind when I learned about it from the foreman. Yeah, we got stuck in one because the fluid was too cold to move the scissor lift. Holy shit. Well, that explains why everything in there was a like rope and pulley cable system. He was like 30 feet up. Oh no. Like, wait, this is 2-Ton telling me a story about some dude at work. Oh, he didn't live. Never mind.
Well done, Abby.
Yep, let's get out of here. Turn this thing over. Different job. Oh, okay. So he might have lived. Wait. You want me to cover it, or do you want to cover it?
I'll throw it. Why not? Oof.
Oof. Covered? One person from it. Climb down the side. Yeah. If I was looking at freezing to death or having to scurry down a scissor lift, I'm scurrying. I'll take my chances with gravity too. 30 feet? Yeah, that's fine. 2-meter high dive.
Alright. You think Abby call it there? It's getting kind of late.
Yeah, might as well.
But yeah, check out that channel. His stuff's really good. He did one on like hot hands pack, the cheap ones you can buy.
Yeah.
Do you know there's liquid versions of those
Uh-huh.
with a little metal piece inside?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was his most recent video, was talking about those. He's got a
Ones that
lot.
are like reusable, you put them in the microwave.
No,
they
you're supposed
zap.
to boil them, but yeah.
Oh.
Let's see. They did one about humidifiers, about dishwashers. Now that was something. Bubble lights, lava lamps, microwaves, light meters, how a furnace works, electric car chargers, touch lamps.
Blasting all the time, just freezing cold. Yeah. Horror story for me. I worked on the Arctic slope, and I wore gloves all the time, and eventually I just kind of got used to it, and I didn't really think about it. But I went to grab, and this was just a wrench that I'd set on the hood. It was just there for long enough for me to like. It was a 4-way wrench, a lug wrench, and I set it on the hood. And I put the tire on, and then I reached up and I grabbed it with my bare hand. And it had gotten so cold that it literally frostbit where I grabbed. The foreman was like, people. Oh, cool.
Okay, Abby. I'm gonna send these people to you, alright?
Okay.
Alright, you guys have fun with Abby. We'll be back for more tomorrow night. Bye bye.
Should have Tater Freezer Works. Pretty sure that video was only showed to scare us. No. I had frostbite on my ears, not fun. I actually have scarring on my cheekbones from frostbite, and I've gotten frostbite on my hands and feet so many times that, like, walking outside right now, it's just